to go.
Alright.
So, yep, it's going to be Jakewise versus Squad Killer. This one's going to be a first to 10.
So base Vegeta, KidB, and Son Goku. That's actually those three characters. As crazy as it might sound, they're not that common characters. I mean, from the meta wise, they're one of the less popular characters. They're still very viable, and they're characters that you can see in the meta, but only very few people actually play all three of them. So that's a pretty interesting team.
Yeah, Jakewise has been playing this team for, I think, since OG was dropped. It's only been like a week ago where it was like, I don't want to play OG, and now he's getting boring. I'm like, dude, Loops will never get boring. You know you love this character. And especially with Boo when you get the dirty mix-up. Squad Killer, I've seen his streams every now and again. He's got a lot of combinations, and not even teams. Like, you could happily like lose this match and then go, oh, I just want to swap self for Vegeta, and he'll just play that team. That's how he plays. He's very... he sees a team as individuals instead of like, oh, this is a shell to help this character, which is a really good way to look at it. I can't do that. I kind of have to swap a whole team to think, to approach differently.
It's a very unique way to look at this game, but I think it also depends on what you're trying to achieve. So, for example, if you were to ask an Aldiun, obviously he will try to make the team work for Majin Buu and make it work in every direction. But at the same time, he's also like there's no way he's gonna drop Majin Buu. But if you're someone who just wants to play characters that they like and get good with them individually, then you're not necessarily bound to having that synergy. You can also just play the characters by themselves, which is what SquadK is doing right now, actually.
Yeah, I think it's a very optimal way to make teams, and maybe that's why he makes squads that kill you. Like, he hasn't got any qualms with not playing a specific character. Like me, I have to play Vegeta. I have to play a form of Vegeta, and luckily SSJ is pretty well-rounded, so I'm kind of lucky in that respect. But if you're, like you said, like with Aldiun, he's playing Majin Buu. That's it. Like, he's playing Fat Buu, and the other two characters just need to allow him to play that character well.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, he even went as far as to not play Android 17, even though he was super looking forward to him, right? Yeah. And so let's see if the same is also the case with Jiren.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that'll be upsetting if you can't use him. It'll be really upsetting, because I know he's been really wanting to play.
Yeah, but now Jakewise, in comparison to our previous set, now he actually utilizes sparking with his point character. It's something that we haven't seen at all in the previous match, but in this case it makes a lot of sense, because KidB is someone who enables the team really well while being also very strong as a point character. So I think we're gonna see a lot more point sparks in this match than the previous one.
Yeah, especially Jake. Jake kind of comes from the same... I mean, I'll play Jake, and you know him offline and stuff. He's very like dominant when it comes to offline UK play. And we've all kind of adopted the whole principle of like, look, the strength of your team is way more valuable than a level 3 spark. Maybe you can come back with it. Having 2 assists with your point character, yeah, I believe in most situations is way more beneficial than having a sort of combat mechanic with spark.
Yeah. I really like this mix-up with the KidB assist into the base Vegeta 2H in the air. That's a really creative way of using the assist and using the movement properties of the normals. It's really nice.
It's cool that you like it, but I've been hit by it literally a million times. I hate it. I hate it because there's no tell. Because he does the 2H, there is no like visual indication whether it's high-low. There is none. Yeah. Like, it's so gross. The worst thing is, he can do. He's got a left-right as well with the Buu assist. He can go left-right. He just never needs to do it. He only does high-low in front. He always does it, and I've seen him do it to really good players like RMZ and OB and bad players, and the block ratio is the same. Like, everyone's acceptable to it. He makes everyone a victim when you block Buu assist. Any type of player can get it. That's why I kind of love it. It's the great equalizer, that mix-up. It doesn't matter if you're a good or bad player. This mix-up has the same chance of hitting you.
Exactly, yeah, and it's also what you just said is also like really important is that he could go for a left-right mix-up too, but he doesn't because there's no need to overcomplicate things.
Yeah.
You only make yourself susceptible to drop things. But if you keep it simple, which works just as well, then there's no reason to go for the complicated stuff.
As you can see, like it worked again. Like it's such
Exactly.
a basic mix-up. It's like when your opponent knows your mix-up and still gets hit by it, you know it's a good mix-up.
Exactly, yeah.
Like, I mean, this is almost a forgotten character, Cell. We haven't seen him for a while. Like,
yeah,
still a really good character. I'm not sure why. I know he did get nerfed a little bit damage-wise, but oh my god, it just always works.
Awesome. This is so awesome. I love stuff like this. Maybe I should pick this team up.
Maybe Jakewise was trying to talk me into like persuading him to not play this team. I'm like, dude, this team works so fundamentally perfectly. There's no reason for you not to play it. There's not really a flaw in this team. It's not really a flaw in it. I just can't see it. Like all these characters cover the other characters' flaws. So as long as he's got the whole squad, they're perfect in my eyes. I really can't see a flaw in this team. Look at this damage.
Yeah. I think the one thing that you have to see is that you have to play fundamentally well in order to play this team well. There's nothing that kind of gives you some slack. You know, like for example with Bardock you have the Lariat Punch, which helps you neutralize or which helps you compete in the neutral much more easily than you would normally. Or, I mean, with Nappa, with the Cybermen, while they're difficult to execute, they make your mix-up way more unseeable or suspectable for how does this even work, you know?
Yeah.
And with this team, you just have to do everything well, but everything is possible. So it's definitely a very difficult team to play, even though there's nothing like uniquely special about it. But it's a team that you have to control well.
Yeah, that's like a really good way of saying it, because I've tried playing this team. It's slightly varied. I had Goku Black instead of SSJ, and I had SSJ Vegeta instead of base Vegeta. But with how volatile the game can be at some points, you crack and you don't go for what you know works. You try something different and unique, and it's like, no, with this team you need to know your game plan and just try and execute that. Don't try anything funny or slick or interesting. You've got to do the right things all the time.
Exactly. I mean, right now you can. It's something that Jakewise actually shows us quite often now is the use of his stomp, like those kicks. They're so well done. He always knows where the opponent is gonna land. He knows where he's gonna dash, and that means that he is always able to use the correct normal in the correct time, and that's crucial with KidB.
Oh yeah, like I've had conversations with Jake, and he's like, I'll say something like, oh yeah, that was a good 2M. It's like, no, that was 1M. Like, you need to know the difference. And there is a big difference, even with like Startup and Block Stun. He knows these buttons inside out, and it's mad because he used to play 16, and I used to hate him for playing 16. I was like, dude, you've got such good neutral. Stop playing 16, please.
Now the loops, and into the assist. Does he, and then into the knockdown. One more hit and this should be it.
Yeah, and he's just right back in. It's so weird because Jake is almost mechanical in his play. He plays like AI sometimes. Like, he's so methodical and he's like, oh, I've done this a million times, I'm doing this. But then as soon as like a hiccup comes, like the alpha counter, he'll go, oh, I need to get back in. And he can just quickly switch on like the human side of his brain and be like, oh, I can play like everyone else, super dash, I'm right back in. Like, he does that on like a whim. It's really interesting to see him play.
Yeah, it's a very unique way to play this game too. It's I mean, most of the time you will see a lot of players in the West at least. They will try to how do I say, if a situation comes up that feels very unfamiliar, they will first try to back off and try to stabilize everything first. But with Jakewise, he always, it seems like he always feels very comfortable. It never feels like he is unfamiliar with the situation, and that's very, as you said, interesting to see. Yeah.
Yeah, this is cool. But saying that, Squad Killer's like that. He's versatile and can switch up with teams. And now we're going to see him picking another team. He's still got a Gotenks, but now he's got 2 Gokus. He's got half the Powerpuff Girl team. He's got blue and pink. Drops a combo. I was about to say it's going to make a difference. Oh my gosh, look at Jake. What is wrong with this guy? Okay, he's not the combo. Thank you. He is human. He is human.
Confirmed.
Brings in Boo. Gotenks. Up back into Beam Assist, the classic. But no confirm off the 2H, unfortunate.
Yeah, because he already super dashed, so he couldn't convert out of it.
Yeah, and he didn't have a meter to banish either.
The classic. And now into the knockdown. Does he use the meter? No, he doesn't. Oh, he does. Okay.
He just wanted the extension. I think one of the flaws, if you can call it that, in this team is that Jake was saying it's quite hard to get double supers with Boo Assist. He said you can do Boo Assist 2 level 1s with Goku, but he said it's quite difficult.
Okay. Yeah, you can do it, but usually it's not worth the risk, because if it drops, then your Goku is gonna... Like, the defensive capabilities of Goku are already not that great, so being forced into a defensive situation because you try to maximize the damage is sometimes not really worth it. And I think also what you said, that that's one of the weaknesses, is the lack of double super. Usually you can say that that's a weakness, but I think the damage capabilities of that team, like of each character on their own, is already that good that it's okay to not be able to get double supers, because most of the time you don't need it.
Yeah, look at the health he's like. Black came in with full health. He hit him with one random kick like that, and he took half his health. And now he's not going to die because he hasn't got the bar. But like you said, yeah, the sum of the parts equal to more than the whole, because like you said, each character just does insane damage with the right starter. Hence why Jakewise fishes with 2 M's and 1 M with KidB. Because he knows the reward of it is just going to be through the roof.
Exactly, yeah. And at the end of the day, when you play this game, you always have to think of it as in how many hits do I need, right? So even though he doesn't have any double supers, the amount of hits that he needs stays the same. He always only needs 2 hits, or 3 at max. So at that point, there's not that much of a difference of the benefit of a double super. But SquadK now coming back with the Goku Blue. So now this is interesting, because Goku Blue is a very unusual Goku character. He's probably the most unique from all of them, in my opinion.
I agree.
So knowing the matchup against Goku Blue is really, really important in order to know how to fight him. So it'll be interesting to see if Jakewise knows how to play the neutral, especially with the teleports and everything.
Yeah, they can be really tricky. I think they're a lot harder to deal with when you've never seen that confirmed. That was pretty sick. I've never seen that confirmed. That was really
That
cool.
was sick. Yeah.
I was about to say, yeah, he did have a beam assist on his side, Jakewise did. But like you said, yeah, he might not be ready for these cross-ups. He might not know. I was going to say Goku Blue does benefit from having assists a lot of the time, just to make the cross-ups a lot harder to deal with, but he's done alright so far. This was a 3-1 at one point. And again with that sick confirm.
I never knew this was possible. That's pretty sick, actually, yeah. Oh, nice punish.
Yeah, you can't do that with Jake. You cannot... Oh, what is he doing?
Oh, the unnecessary style.
Yeah, he's putting a statement. He's like, no. There's only room for one Goku here. Put your black and blue away. The SSJ is the original.
Awesome, awesome.
But that was a good showing by Squad. He can clearly play a lot of characters. Because that wasn't like a B&B, oh, I'm just picking blue for a specific counter like the cross-up elbow. He can play that character. He almost pulled off a 3-1 comeback with him. If he had Spark, it might have been a different situation.
Yeah, and he didn't even use all of the Goku Blue's toolset. He was just like playing with Kai Blast and movement. He was just playing basic neutral and being able to already like get that kind of comeback with that much. It already puts a statement that the choice of changing out the Goku was the right choice.
Yeah, I think this team is doing a lot better. The mobility he has with SSJ, it kind of matches what Vegeta does. It's like, okay, you like to cross me up, I can cross you up as well now. Let's see how you like this. But the key is, especially with Jake, you have to beat him in neutral. You have to.
Yeah.
Because once you start blocking, any team with KidB, you start blocking, you have to take a 50-50. You have to take it.
For sure, yeah.
Yeah, and we can see that Jake is not trying to engage. He let Gamer B jump in. Oh, obviously blocked the mix-up. One more.
Oh, nice defense.
Oh, and he oh no! He done so well. He done a hard bit with just a block. And then he dropped the Gatling.
That's unfortunate. Squad really did a really nice button press there, because you have to know when you're allowed to press the button. And he did it at the right time. He knew when Jakewise was trying to reset the situation.
Yep.
But unfortunately he didn't convert it correctly, which can happen, especially if, I mean, to be fair, Squad was in a lot of like straightforward situations where he just lost character on and on. So this is actually the first time where he had this defensive situation where he got the hit. But it's important for him, I think, for the next rounds or next matches to kind of try to capitalize on stuff like that.
Yeah, he's definitely did it so far. It's a good thing it's the first of 10. 3 matches is nothing in the long run. If you're going to get this information, he's getting the 1-inch punch. Oh, he's done.
The buffed command grab. And now Goku Black is now on point. I wonder if Goku Black can actually profit from Goku Blue's assist a lot.
Yep. Wow, that was tricky. I know he gets double bomber supers. Combo-wise, mid-screen, outside of supers and extensions. I guess it might be tricky to do, it might help him do teleport mix-ups.
Oh, that's true, yeah.
I think that might be a bit tricky. He was in the corner that time, so there was no left-right. It wasn't as scary, because I believe Goku Blue pushes you backwards.
Yeah.
Ooh, don't get some reflect. Right, it's always murder there.
Yeah. Oh, that sparking now hurts a little bit, because now he's back into a defensive, and now with the level 3 to waste a lot of... that was a good level 3.
Yeah, it did take him out of the corner, but it's not too bad. At least he gets the pressure, jumps away, goes back to neutral. I respect it. If I went straight for a car blast game, man like Jakewise he wanted to take as much advantage of the spark as possible, so he wanted to super dash right back in. Is that his weakness?
Yeah, and now we see that, now he starts with the teleports. What I mentioned earlier with SquadK not utilizing the whole toolset of Goku Blue, now he does, and now it shows how important that it is to utilize the whole set of tools, and it allows him to really capitalize on a lot more situations where Jakewise is not ready for a teleport, for a command grab, and for stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, Jake does play quite a bit online. He's not played as much online. He's played a bit more offline. But like you said, like Goku Blue he is very unique. You kind of need to... He's one of the characters that you have to experience. People can tell you what he's got. You can say, oh yeah, he's got a command grab that, if not in range, it goes into a physical attack, or he's got all these cross-ups that he can do, teleport attacks. But you have to experience it. You have to block it and play against it to understand why Blue is so different from the other Gokus. Like, he doesn't even have a beam. He's the only Goku that doesn't have a beam.
Exactly.
And there's a reason for that, because he can do literally everything else.
Yeah, he doesn't need the beam.
Yeah, trying to lock him down so he can make advantage of the Gotenks assist. Didn't work out, but... jumping forward and blocking.
Yeah. I think actually that's one of the disadvantages of Jakewise's team. Now that I think about it, is that the majority of his assists are not that great for neutral purposes. Like, obviously you can use no, actually he has Super Saiyan Goku, right? Oh no, yeah. Then my mistake. I thought it was Gotenks.
Oh no, he has got Gotenks, but sorry, Goku. But like you said, yeah, if he uses Goku in neutral, he has to wait for Goku to come back because he can't use Boo.
Exactly, yeah. Boo is a purely pressure-centered assist, and Vegeta has some usage in the neutral, but it's very specific, it's in very specific angles. It doesn't really help that much if the opponent is above you and stuff like that. So it's or if very far away. So it's it's a little bit tricky to navigate the neutral with that kind of team.
I agree. I mean, as we saw in the other few matches, and as well as this one, he's kind of opted to go, okay, the base Vegeta is not really working. Let me get booing, so I've got 2 beam assists, sort of. One that's very traditional, and one that might try and stop him from jumping as much. But it's not paying off. I can see Jake is getting a little bit frustrated, not being able to get in. And here we go with the spark. Backs away into Super Dash. And yeah, like, Squad has definitely swapped up he's totally changed his game style. He's played from full screen and frustrated Jake into making mistakes. Level 3 knockdown. Teleport into cross up.
Doesn't convert from the hit. That's unfortunate.
Oh,
but it's also really interesting to see Squad using Goku Blue assist.
Yeah, I was about to say that. Off of the beam pressure, right?
Yeah, exactly, for the beam pressure, because Goku Blue actually teleports to the opponent, he can be a little bit more free with his own long range moves with the point character.
Yeah, that's really nice. I never thought about using blue like that. I lost it. Double overhead, gets black. I mean, that doesn't seem like a bad show, to be fair. Like, black with blue assist look pretty legit. Like, look pretty strong.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's also why people sometimes say the best Goku team is actually also really legit. Like Goku Blue, Goku Black, and Super Saiyan Goku, right? And I think actually the synergy with Goku Blue and Goku Black are like a huge factor of this.
Yeah, I'm a believer. It's not the same as Vegeta's. They don't want the same, but yeah, all Gokus definitely seems like a legit team. I mean, maybe you could even one day hopefully put base Goku amongst those 3 and say that they can make a legit team. But at least you've got 3 out of 4 that work well.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, base Goku for that team would have to be released first, so let's see for that.
Pay to win. Ready to spend that cash to make him in. 2 characters apiece. Jakewise has a slight deficit with the health. Oh, and he takes a screen to the face.
And the sparking is already used by Jakewise, but SquadK dropped the combo, unfortunately. He didn't try to go for a knockdown, at least for a soft knockdown, so... but he still gets the hit, and now it's Jakewise with Super Saiyan Goku, which... I mean, SSJGoku he's a good anchor, but he's really big problems with opening up characters by themselves. So most of the time you don't really see that kind of comeback potential that, for example, you see with Gotenks or stuff like that. No,
he's definitely he's more traditional footsies where it's like, I'm gonna wait for you to make a mistake. I'm gonna wait for you to whiff like a beam, and then I'm gonna super dash, and it doesn't matter that my combo starts with super dash. I'm gonna get the knockdown, and I'm gonna hold on to my momentum where not having a knockdown makes you kind of scramble or go back to neutral. But Goku never has that factor. Like, with any stray hit, he can start to, you know, ride the waves of the momentum and not set play you, but he can do something. Nice super dash to get away from the command grab there. And yeah, Jakewise he's doing a lot of damage with his SSJGoku here. He's taking away 2 characters. Squad Killer still does have a spark.
Yeah, Squad has to be careful with not trying to be too greedy with the sparking. Yeah. Because that's one of the big things about SSJGoku is he has a lot of damage potential due to his own double level 1s. It's something that not a lot of characters have, but he has, and now he can utilize it theoretically. But he saves the meter because of the sparking, which was a good decision. Yeah,
I think also he didn't want to send him back to full screen, which happens with the double super with Goku. This is gonna hurt. He's gonna get 5 bars here.
Yeah, oh no!
I don't know if this is
not gonna die. No, this is not gonna kill.
Could he have not got a knockdown? Maybe the combo started with a 5H. Maybe that's why he couldn't get a knockdown, so he couldn't have got the...
That's possible, yeah. If he had gone from a 2H, then he could have gotten the knockdown with just a regular juggle route, but with a 5H it's really difficult.
Oh yeah, definitely. Run up command Kamehameha. Okay. Is that level 3 death?
No, I don't think it is.
Oh, it's gonna be close. Whatever it is.
Is this gonna kill? Oh, the last hit!
Wow, what? I mean, it's Goku. You should have expected it.
That's true. James Chen, that's how you say it. Is this gonna kill?
Is this gonna kill? Yeah, I actually didn't think I was gonna kill. I actually thought I was gonna, because I know normally it's like if their health is past the spark icon, it, like you said about when level 1, level 3, if it's just beyond the spark, then it'll kill. When it's just underneath the spark, I know scaling comes into play when it comes to supers. So that's why I can't remember if if SSJGoku's level 3 has good scaling. I didn't think it did, but I think it should, considering it takes you out the corner. I think it should have like one of the better scaling.
I think scaling wise it's rather average. Like it's not necessarily bad, but there are definitely supers that are better. And I think the big reason for it is because it's a lot of small multiple hits. So the scaling hits a little bit harder, I think.
Right.
And damage wise it's also not that much of a damaging level 3. But yeah, it managed to kill, so that's basically all that matters, right?
Yeah, basically, yeah. And Jake is definitely adapting to the playstyle as well. He's super dashing a lot of these command grabs now. And on the other end, Squad Killer's not getting hit as much by the boom mix-up, which is really hard to block. Even when we said earlier, like, it doesn't matter that you know the mix-up. The mix-up's so potent, you still got to guess correctly. And maybe Squad Killer's just figured out a pattern. We got the 2M. Oh, it was counter hit. He pressed the button. Look at that damage from the 2M. He's not even using an assist here. He did even use an assist, and that's how much damage he got. But he missed the pickup.
Oh, he wanted to go for level 3, okay.
Dragon Rush.
Yeah, taking in KidB.
What a bait. What a strong bait. Ooh, empty jump low.
He gets a knockdown from this, and then does he go for Ghost Oki? Oh, doesn't go for the backdash first.
No, yeah, that's... yeah, no, you have to go for the backdash. Go for the backdash.
Yeah, because else all the ghosts will just hit immediately, and that's not something you want.
No, and especially on a small character, you only have to block all of them. You only have to block 2.
Yeah. Let's see, what does he go for? Oh, he goes for attack again. Okay. Yeah, he wants to make sure that KidB is back in the shelf, regenerate a little bit of blue life, but he wants to focus on using him as an assist character, which totally makes sense.
Oh dear, this is going to be a lot of damage here. Oh, yeah, he's just run out of spark as well. That's unfortunate.
Is this kill? Is this kill? I think this is death.
Yeah, I think you're right. Oh, but he dropped it.
No!
As soon as you said it might kill, he dropped it.
I'm sorry, man.
Nah, you can't be sorry. You're only doing your job. Oh, that hit. Well, this is a true Twitter combo. This is a Clayton Chapman combo because it started with the second hit of an auto combo.
What? What happened there?
Online DBZ, I think. Oh my gosh. Got hit with the classic. 6M into IAD heavy.
And now into the level 3. Now it's going SquadK going directly for an assist in order to cover the wake up, or yeah. But I wonder if you call the assist there, maybe it makes sense to, instead of just like running straight up, maybe to jump forward in order to get a high-low mix-up. I mean, of course, Goku Black's 2M isn't the fastest, but it still forces the opponent to kind of guess off it, right?
Yeah, no, I agree. I was thinking something, maybe it was too exotic and was unnecessary, but just calling Goku didn't go for teleport.
Yeah.
Just to mask it a little bit more, but yeah, like you said earlier, sometimes just going for the basic, straightforward stuff is way better. There's a lot less room for error. Nice blocking to 5M. Not a lot of people do that. When you block a spark on the ground, it's your turn as the person who blocked it.
Yeah. And now back to the pressure. 2H. He didn't expect it to 2H.
Yeah. Yeah, he didn't expect it to hit, so he obviously cancelled his 2H into normal to keep it true on the ground. Yeah. But Jakewise wasn't maybe expecting to get hit by it, so he didn't tech.
My guilty gear heart is always crying when I see untech'd combos.
Yeah, oh man, I saw a lot of grey beats back in my day. A lot of grey beats.
Everyone did. Yeah. Everyone did. So now getting the knockdown, and he still has 4 bars, so that's a really good situation for Jakewise.
One problem with Goku Black, a problem that not many people talk about is that he can't like rapid cancel his lights. So when you do the light, you have to commit to the Gatling.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't check with him. And that time he obviously hit OG out of his pressure, but maybe just didn't relieve strong enough. Oh, that was weird. And this is the point he was bringing up earlier about Jake's team. Now he's not Goku. He has to play either super risky or super conservative and just wait for his turn because he's got nothing to cover him neutral. Like,
yeah, I mean, you can see it right now. Is even in the defense, he feels much more scared to do anything. Before he was fine with like jumping out and then calling Super Saiyan SSJGoku while he was getting out of the corner. But now he was just like waiting for his turn, like waiting forever.
Yeah, he's clearly more focused on making him block something so he can utilize the KidB assist. So he's like you said, he's waiting a lot more. When you've got a Goku assist, it's like, oh, I can jump out. I can call Goku assist, and if he blocks that, then I can run in, then make you block, and then call the Buu assist. But yeah, having the Goku, not having the Goku, kind of feels like the Goku's the glue to his team to make it work all the time.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I mean, luckily for Jakewise, it doesn't come to fruition now. But his KidB has a lot of. I think his KidB is probably the best solo neutral character from Jakewise.
Yes.
Because he really knows when to press buttons in which range, and with the other characters that's important too. But with KidB, you get a lot of mileage doing exactly that, I think.
Yeah. No, I absolutely agree. So yeah, 4-2, still definitely anyone's game at this point. Squad Killer's only used 2 of his teams. We've not seen his final form yet. Maybe these are warm-up teams. I'm not sure. He's button check teams. Like I said, I've seen him. When I see him stream, he's normally got Vegeta with his team.
Okay.
And I mean, he might be saving that because maybe he knows. He probably doesn't, but I'll tell him just in case he's listening. Jake hates Vegeta.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people don't like Vegeta. A lot of people that don't play Vegeta don't like Vegeta, especially online. Because those 5Ls online they might as well be like Guilty Gear throws. They're just literally one frame. They're one frame and you can't block. You just can't block them.
True.
No taking those, yeah. So I know that's what and you can kind of see it from his gameplay. Oh my gosh, he had almost all 3 characters. From Jake's gameplay, he's very methodical, and Vegeta breaks methodical with his 5Ls.
That's true. It's a very different kind of pressure. Like a lot of the other characters, they rely much more on movement for engaging pressure and re-engaging pressure. But Vegeta doesn't need that. He has the normals to extend the pressure by himself as long as he does it smartly. Yeah.
Yeah. I want to say something about smart. I don't know about that spark. That was a very wild spark. Squad had Jake under pressure. He had no assist left. He done a beam and then he just sparked, and it wasn't even close enough to make him block the spark. I don't know if he thought, oh, if I get the hit from beam, I can get one of those fancy TODs. But I don't know. It was a big gamble to take when the match has just begun. Like it's just started.
Yeah, and there was no blue life to recover as well, so I think it was more of an execution error than anything else.
Possibly.
Sometimes it happens if you try to vanish or you try to call an assist. I don't know, does Squad play on pad or on stick?
I believe he's a pad player. I know Jake is for sure. I believe Squad's a pad player as well.
Okay, so it's quite possible that he maybe accidentally pressed the spark button when he tried to call an assist or something like that. It's something that can happen. Yeah.
I know it's quite common for people to have smart buttons, and maybe he had him on one of the triggers and he just pressed the wrong one. It could be a load of different reasons, but I believe he's a pad player because he's known for playing never on games. So he plays a lot of MKX, and most MKX players play on pad. So it's just it's an assumption. It's not a very good one. But yeah, that's what I base my my read on. I'm a Leo player. All I have is reads. That's all I can do. All the loops into death, I think. Oh no, he's no.
Yeah, it's dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is definitely gonna kill.
Definitely?
Definitely.
Okay, fair enough.
Not even the last hit.
Yeah, it wasn't close this time, it was a sure thing. So 2 apiece, but Jake still does have his spark, mixing up the throw timing.
Yeah. So one thing with Goku Blue that is a little bit more difficult with him, and it's something that he shared with base Goku, is that the reward from his command grab is rather low. I mean, first of all, the situation afterwards usually is not that big. Though if you use another bar, you can get the sliding knockdown from it. But the damage is heavily scaled because in order to convert from the command grab, you have to use Spanish. So
yeah.
So I think Jakewise not reacting to the command grabs is more effect of him, you know, the Street Fighter 5 way of things. Just take the throw. Instead of trying to react to the throw and then maybe eating a much worse punish for that, he's just accepting the fact that he will not be able to avoid any of the command grabs.
Yeah, it's a very risk-reward mentality to be like, yeah, I'll just take the throw. But like you said, it's not base Goku. Base Goku is a lot less risky doing that. Just because, like you said, he has to vanish immediately. And when you vanish, obviously, you get a lot less meter as well. But with Goku Blue being able to go into 2M from it, maybe you should kind of go back to maybe every now and again tap in SD just to super dash through it, maybe.
Yeah. Maybe even vanish or yeah, it's really it's difficult to say. I mean, you need the Goku Blue experience for that, and I have played against Goku Blue in a long time.
Right. Gets locked down with a flick of the wrist by Gotenks. Beyblade, of course.
Tried to re-engage into his own pressure by super dashing, but it was a little bit too high up.
Yeah. The anime stuff.
That's kill. Oh, did he okay, he cancelled it in time. One of the things with SSJGoku is usually you can do you can even do the M version of the Tatsu, but it can happen quite frequently that that you cancel like in between the hits in a way that's that the super will not hit.
Yeah, I've seen that. You have to kind of commit to the first or the second hit. You can't do it in between the first and second hit, otherwise they just pop out.
Exactly, yeah.
But Jake again, you know, showing why Goku is the poster boy, making that comeback. He's got really good reactions. A lot of the times in those matches, he would see Squad jump and run under, and it's like, I know you want to super dash. Most people super dash when someone runs underneath them, but Jakewise's reactions to 2H on those is so good. Like Squad has to realize like it's a bait. Here we go. Yeah. So here's the Vegeta. He's got him second though.
Yeah, it's Cell, Vegeta second, and Gotenks.
But if you look at his card, that's what all these 3 characters are. So this must be his final form.
I wonder though, what's the reason to play Vegeta on second?
I am not sure. I don't see how it would help Cell. Hopefully he's going to show us, but I'm not sure how it would help Cell. Yeah, on point. Yeah, I could definitely see it working stronger the other way, like Vegeta backed by Cell Assist.
Yeah, maybe the logic for him is that Vegeta doesn't need Cell Assist. He just needs the Gotenks Assist in order to get the really good pressure. So he's fine with having Cell die first. There's a lot of different ways where you can create your team, like with who are you fine dying off first and stuff like that. Yep. Maybe that's his thought of process.
I can definitely understand that. Even though I love the character, sometimes I always put 17 on point and go, well, if he doesn't get to play, at least he gave me some meter in it. He's just a battery. And if I lose 17, I don't feel like, oh, my team's falling apart.
Exactly, yeah.
Right, let's get the party started here. The greatest thing about this show, Vegeta and Gotenks, is in English, when Gotenks calls for Vegeta assist, he goes, Dads. That's the great thing about this thing.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, man. I hate Gotenks.
Oh yeah, no, so do I. So do I. I used to like Vegeta until I kind of understood his meta was scramble 5Ls. But he is fun. He's very unique in the way he plays. He's very unique. I do like it.
That's true, and while he's unique, he also works with quite a lot of teams. But I was actually thinking of picking him up too, because I think he works really well with Majin Buu and Gotenks as a team.
Okay.
But then I was like, oh no, I don't want to press 5L all day.
Exactly, that is what it comes down to really. It's like, well, if I'm going to play this character properly, I'm going to have to be super liberal on how I just do 5L, and it's like, I might not be able to do that. That's why I can't play Gotenks. Even though Gotenks is super good in that, he does have like an option for every situation. And I don't think like that. I actually can't really go, oh, this character has 4 things he can do in this situation, which is all good. I have to be, my character's got 5 tools, one of these tools works well in this situation.
Yeah.
I don't do well with multiple choice questions. Especially when the multiple choice questions all can be right.
Yeah, I can see both of us are not Johnny players.
Exactly. Oh my gosh, yeah. Oh, Johnny. Oh my gosh. He could do no wrong. Literally, he could do no wrong.
He just does some mist and it's good.
Yeah, yeah. It's like, I'm leveled up. This is safe. You can only win if I mess up. We'll good game.
But Squad now actually in the lead. Jakewise used up his sparking and KidB is quite low on health. If Squad can get a hit in and tag in KidB, that's gonna be a big deal.
Yeah. Random reflect.
Yeah, okay, now I think at this point Squad should probably give up on the idea of tagging in KidB, and you should just focus on playing a good neutral and being a little bit more patient. The good thing is he still has Gotenks and Vegeta. They're the essential part of this team. And even if Gotenks dies with Vegeta, he's still flexible enough to play on his own. So, oh, what a drop!
Wow. I'm definitely hearing what you're saying because, oh, he nearly got it. So you can combo off of that. You can combo off of that, yeah. He almost got it. I don't think it's going to matter much because he's surely he's bringing in, double supers. It's got to be double supers, right?
Dead. Yeah, for sure.
There we go. Captain Sword. And like you said, the shell, having Vegeta in the back, especially maybe against 3 characters is not that good, but with 2, Vegeta can definitely get it done because he's going to erase your first character with Spark.
Yeah, for sure. And the great thing about this team is it can work in both directions. So you can play Gotenks on point and Vegeta behind him, and you can obviously you can get the double super with a normal BMB. But even if you play Vegeta on point, the great thing about Vegeta's 2H in the air, the jumping 2H is it hits the opponent forward, but it counts as an upward smash. So any H will do a knockdown, which means you can tag in Gotenks at any time and still get the double super.
Okay, that I didn't actually think about. That's actually really good. I didn't think about that. Yeah, you're right. You're totally right. Speaking of him, he brings in the dads. He's still got Spark. Oh, what?
Nice.
Yeah.
Drops it.
He threaded that so nicely. He saw that he was going to land in the beam if he didn't cancel soon enough. Goes into fingers and then vanishes. Really clean confirmed. He didn't finish the combo, unfortunately. I mean, he should have went for 5-0 because that never whiffs. But he wanted to go for 2-N. Yeah. Now he might lose the game for it.
But he still has sparking, so I think he's super safe now. So with sparking and with 2 characters, it's a very, very safe bet with that kind of team.
Right, so I believe the score's 5-3. I don't think I've messed up here. 5-3 to Jakewise. I think that's right.
Yeah, 5-3 should be right.
I'm sure the chat will let me know if I've messed up. Anyone's game still. Anyone's game. Now we've seen SquadK's final form in Cell, Vegeta, Gotenks. His Cell didn't really do much, which is scary. Like when you normally, well, maybe back a couple of months ago when Cell wasn't doing much, you were scared because it's like, wow, if you've got that character and he's not doing anything, I'm scared to see what your other characters can do because Cell's He's so dominating with pressure, especially with Gotenks. Like, he can literally do the same thing that Jakewise has been doing to him with Vegito and Vegeta and KidB. Like, if he gets a string with Cell, he's gonna have to block the Gotenks mix, which is really hard to block.
Yeah. But at this point, maybe, as you said, Cell didn't really contribute that much right now. So at this point, Squad should probably think about maybe changing it up as soon as he loses another game. And bring in another character where he feels like he's comfortable with them at least not being detrimental to Vegito or Gotenks. Because from what I've gathered, Squad is pretty well versed in a lot of characters.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think I would like to see blue Goku Vegito.
Yeah,
see how Jake would do with that.
Exactly. Yeah. Nice block. Yeah, he got that mix-up figured out. So it's now it's. I mean, it's still a very difficult mix-up to block, but he has a lot of data right now to figure out, okay, what is he probably gonna go for?
Yeah. He's just going through the Rolodex and he's like, okay, last time he did this, probability if you go for it again is X, Y, and Z. Oh, what a challenge by Jake there. Jumps away this time, I like it. Wow!
Oh, nice poke. That was a sick poke. That's the kind of a power situations I love when people do it. Like,
yeah.
It seems like super stupid to do, but it's actually a really smart button press because you stop everything with a relatively low risk. I love it. I love it.
And you know why it's so good when Jake does it is that he's not following up with auto combo. So the purpose of it was just to stop you. He wasn't hoping that it would hit. He went, I'm gonna press this button and go back to block. I'm not gonna force the issue by trying to keep pressing and see what happens.
Yeah. Gets a loop and gets a knockdown. Goes for the Oki. That's such a unique Oki. It's kind of annoying, to be honest.
I mean, it does feel nice when you do it, but yeah, it's super annoying. Super annoying. Like I don't know why OG makes Kai Blast seem so broken. When it's like, oh yeah, it's a Kai Blast, you can super dash. It's like, nope, not against that, you can't.
I mean, it is the Kai Blast that made him go into a big Ozoro, right? So.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. You've got to respect how Bandai and Arc kept it so canon, bar the tier list, because Beerus and 17 are so bad. But in canon-wise, they're probably the strongest.
Yeah, and the MVP Android 17 doesn't even exist, even though he was the last one to exist in the tournament.
Mad. So upsetting.
Nice Dragon Rush. So SquadK can still bring this back really well. I mean, of course, Jakewise doesn't have the meter, but Gotenks is a character that's totally like capable of doing any kind of mix-up, comeback, especially with sparking on deck.
Yeah, he's very self-efficient. I mean, way back when people were starting to believe in Gotenks, he was pretty much always anchor. Maybe that was because of the whole, you know, oh, his assist gives you this mix-up. But I think he played really well there, and now a lot of people put him on point. He's so versatile, like, it makes sense putting him anywhere. The only place I don't really see him is middle. And it's like, well, why not? I guess you could.
Yeah, it's that's true. It's the versatility of Gotenks is like what put him into the meta as well, I think. I mean, of course, you have players like Kazunoko who play him on front, right? In order to get Gohan leveled up safely, and in order to keep Yamcha kind of safe.
Yeah.
But then you also have other players that play him as an anchor, and it works just as well because he supports some characters really well.
Yeah, no, totally. Like, I follow a lot of Rogue Yoshi. He's a Nappa player, and he plays Nappa Blue Gotenks. And it's like he's never really out. It's like, yeah, you've killed his best character, which is Nappa, and both of these characters are kind of crucial to make Nappa play optimally. But when you kill Nappa, it's like, now the problems start. Now you've got to fight KidB and Gotenks. Like, do you really want this?
Yeah. So now Jakewise doesn't have sparking anymore. Both are desperately trying to get a clean hit, but they're not trying to overextend too much. You could see that Squad got a hit, but he wasn't comfortable enough to press the button afterwards, and he gets hit by the level 3. That was I like it.
Yeah,
Nutty, the Nutty level 3. And that's dead, yeah. Unless he drops it.
Oh no, this is Jake. This is Mr. Mechanical Jakewise. He... when they count, he doesn't drop it. Sometimes he drops Vegeta loops, but yeah. Normally, he doesn't drop any other combos, so... Squad was really close to making that comeback. As we were speaking about how versatile Gotenks was, it was only when we stopped talking. I feel he went a little bit too hard. He didn't have the meter to kind of push the issue that much. Jake was on 7 bars. He was on 1. He went for hands into I think he did EX hands, actually. I think he done heavy hands. And then, yeah, like we saw, Jake went, well, gonna have to level 3, aren't I? Like, I need to stop this like Gotenks train running me over because he's already taken 2 of my characters. Yeah.
But unlike the scoreboard just suggests, this is turning out to be a really, really close match actually. I mean, Squad was a little bit overwhelmed in the start of the set, but after changing to different teams, he's starting to get a little bit more comfortable, and I think you can also see that he feels more comfortable in this matchup with different characters, especially considering that Blue Vegeta, I think he deals really well against classic Vegeta and KidB and SSJGoku.
Yeah, I can see that. Back to straight into the heavy arrow kick. And now Cell's been doing stuff. This is interesting because, like we've seen the last couple of matches, it's been really close, but it's basically been Squad playing 2 characters.
Exactly, which is even more impressive considering then that he always almost manages to win it still.
Yeah.
But the big issue is he doesn't really capitalize that much on the hits with Cell, which is I think one of the big strengths from that character, is to just like being able to convert from so many different hits into almost any knockdown you want.
Yeah, like I feel he might be one of the few characters that feels like he has a vortex in this game. Like everything leads into the same ender, and you always end up in the corner.
Exactly. Yeah.
He's really good like that. So is and that never really got taken away from him. I know a lot of people said like he feels a little bit slower, the damage isn't as good because they nerfed the loops, but it was a situation that put him there. And I feel sorry for for Squad Killer, because he tried to do the smart thing, which is not the right thing. He tried to 2H heavy arrow kick. That move is not classed as airborne. You know, ask me why? I don't agree with it. But heavy arrow kick, the cross-up move is not airborne. If you have to be so good to 2H that in the first place, they should at least reward you with it being upper body. So when you do 2H it, it beats it.
Yeah, it's kind of surprising because Goku Blue has a similar move. And that one counts as airborne, so I was expecting it to be airborne too, but obviously it wasn't.
Yep, I don't know. Vegeta knows something that we don't. Even the other Vegeta's record kicks with blue, the second one's classed as airborne.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks Arxus.
Makes sense. I guess they've got favourites.
As always.
Yeah. Yeah, shouts to Faust, never ever receiving an F. Okay, so who's Pop Spark? Oh, Jake Pop Spark. I thought he was doing. Oh no, he got hit by raw record kicks. He dropped the combo.
That's. Oh damn, that was super smart by Squad.
Yeah.
Jakewise usually always catches the landing things with the legs from KidB.
Yeah.
SquadK at that point knew it and delayed his jump and basically anti-aired with the jump S.
Yeah, technically, yeah. Only in DragonBall can you anti-airs.
Yeah.
But he didn't finish the combo and he didn't catch a body from Jake, so he's lost his Vegeta and his Cell swiftly follows. Squad does have Spark. He's been in this situation before. He's got a lot less work to put into 2 of the characters.
Yeah. I mean, it's okay. Jakewise, basically all 2 of the 3 characters, they will die by 1 hit or by 1 solid combo. But the Squad, he has to get a good hit, just like that one right now.
Yep. And yeah, now how does he spark? That's the question. I don't agree with sparking a neutral with that much health. But what can he do? He nearly got air grabbed. Oh my gosh. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, I agree with that, Spark, because right now with any hit, Squad would have been dead. So he needs to make sure that Jakewise needs 2 hits instead of just 1.
Yeah. Wow. I've never seen an air stare down like that before.
I think Squad shouldn't have gone for a normal vanish. He probably should have gone for an empty vanish. So that way he could have gotten for a knockdown situation. But I think in the heat of the moment it's hard to tell.
Yeah, it felt like it didn't feel like that was an input error. Or maybe it was because he super dashed straight afterwards. I don't know if he'd done it like that to keep momentum. I'm not quite sure.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate. Yeah. That is something with Goku's that people don't do often, but just float against Goku. Just jump and float, because as soon as he commits to a Kamehameha, you super dash and you get punished. Trying to jump in on him is like, you see a lot of people do it. They'll do like they call it like the Street Fighter jump, where you just like micro dash, super jump over to him and punish. But the beam hits higher than the character, so you've got to be really precise with your jump. But if you float, it gives you enough time to float, even double jump if you need to, then super dash. It's a really good option against Goku. Really good option.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's a good option in general against beams that go straight forward. I mean, of course, there are some like base Vegeta's disc. Their super dash is a little bit more difficult to use because of the angle that it goes. But for anything that's straight forward, it's very the super dash, even if it isn't a punish, you most of the time force the opponent to block, and then with an assist afterwards, it's a very good way to punish in marks, in quote marks, to punish the beam.
Yeah, it is. So I think we got a team change from SquadK. Yep. Also, he's gone away from Vegeta. I think Vegeta was the character doing the most damage, but
yeah, it's kind of weird. Like I think he should have changed out Cell at this point.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. Assist wise, it's not the greatest. It's got a purpose, but a lot of other characters do that and more.
Yeah.
I think he had 1 or 2 combos with Cell in the last 3 or 4 games. Yeah, I don't understand, but maybe he thinks the show is better, I'm not sure.
Yeah, we'll see now. I mean, the thing is, Cell's assist kind of already does everything, or it does the same things as Gotenks assist, at least in the way that he uses it, right?
Yes.
So Vegeta's assist actually was a little bit more flexible, because it's, I mean, you can super dash through it, sure, but it covers a lot more space. So, I mean, I don't know what he exactly has in mind for that kind of team.
I'm not sure, but whatever it does, it's forced Jake to spark pretty early here. Oh my, he is just doing Cell stuff at him now. I mean, maybe this is what he was trying to do before and he couldn't do it. I'm not sure why the Gohan assistance allowed him to unlock his Cell, but it does seem to be working.
Yeah, but unfortunately he didn't kill. So now with the right tag in, oh nice, he finally got the hit. It was a really risky situation for both, actually. The fast fall mix-up. Now Jakewise gets mixed up by himself too. Does he go for... So currently for adult Gohan, what's the common goal for a lot of Gohan players? Is it to just go to level 1 and then be fine from there, or are Gohans actively trying to level up more and more?
I think it's 0 or 1. Don't quote me because I don't play the character, but I believe some loops are easier to do in level 0 than level 1.
Okay.
And it depends on the character you're fighting. So some characters you want to do the loops at level 0, and some you want to do in 1. Past that, I don't really see them going, oh, I need to get as many levels as I can to get the slightly increased damage and stuff like that. That's not something I hear too often.
Okay. der Mare. He's just disrespecting it.
You are truly unstoppable, Cell. You are perfect. They nerfed you, but you're still apparently in the game. And Squad is, I don't know if he changed his buttons or something when he went back to the lobby, but his Cell's here now.
Yeah, it's maybe it's also the position of Cell. I mean, now Cell is on second, right? Maybe he just feels a little bit too, a little bit more comfortable getting the hits with Cell, because now he's he already forced situations before with adult Gohan. I don't know, maybe it's something like that. I'm not too sure.
I do think that makes a big difference. There's a classic example, well, maybe not classic, it's only been like a year that this game's been out. But when KidB used to play Trunks and 18. So 18 is like, okay, you want 18 on point to start her mates and have the assist. But KidB used to put Trunks on point. As soon as he's got the hit, then he would bring 18 in.
Yeah.
And maybe that's how Squad Killer plays Cell. It's like, Cell in neutral, like you said, with Vegeta assist that doesn't stop super dashing, and Gotenks where you need to lock him down first, it's hard to initiate the first hit. Gohan's a lot quicker, and Cell's has a beam assist. It might not be the same angle as most, but it is a beam assist. So it's easier to initiate with Gohan than, you know, bring in Cell. Once you've got them cornered and you DHC and whatnot. So that could be the strat.
Yeah. So now Squad is immediately having the advantage, but he gives up the pressure quite easily by going for the Kai Blast. So he's a little bit more reserved now than previously. Oh, gets an unfortunate hit, and Jakewise gets out of the corner, even though the damage was pretty good. But,
yeah, it was, wasn't it? And there we go with the Street Fighter jumping. I mean, that is his dad, so he's clearly taught him. Goku putting his son down. IAD pressure, keeping it nice and simple. Good block.
Yeah. The hit was too awkward for Squad to really capitalize from it. That's unfortunate. And doesn't have any meter to vanish to.
I like the idea. I like the idea. But unfortunately, his Cell assist hit him. Cell's too perfect in that situation.
Yeah. Jumps out of the Gotenks assist, that was nice.
Wow.
Yeah, the angle on the Cell assist doesn't really help him that much, because most of the time it's way too slow, so Jakewise has a lot of time to jump out of the angle.
Yeah, I agree.
It's a little bit unfortunate. And now SquadK's adult Gohan is actually gonna die.
You got Goku. It was interesting that Jakewise brought in Goku, like, specifically for that match. He must feel that Goku does better against adult Gohan, I believe. I can sort of see it being hard for base Vegeta, just because of the, you know, the thing that all Vegetas lack. I mean, bar blue Vegeta is the beam assist, or having a beam, in general.
Yeah,
And
but I think you can dash through the disc. You can't dash through the disc, right? You
can't dash through the disc, no. But I think it's quite awkward for Vegeta players to use that to zone people because of the angle on it. Same with like 18s. You don't normally see 18s do their disc because you have to feel like, well, if I aim this disc up and they dash forward, I'm gonna look like a right idiot. And the opposite for when it's like, oh, normally beams don't cover the air, but I can, and I didn't do it this time. They just jumped over and hit me. Because it hasn't got the active frames of like a beam, so you can't cover multiple options. It seems a little bit scarier to try and do that with base Vegeta. But you are right, he does have a beam. It's the same with blue Vegeta. It's like, you do have a beam. In neutral, it's not the greatest. It's got good properties. It's a very good shield against other beams. But yeah, Big Bang in general for like sniping is pretty hard.
Yeah, it's a very high commitment to go for it as well. Yeah.
Still got Spark because he's going to need to use it. He's going to save it. Teardrop Oki.
Yeah, he's probably yeah, he's trying to use it defensively, which makes the most of sense, I think, with Gotenks. I don't think with Gotenks you have a lot of benefit to use the assist in neutral or as a pickup tool. You should try to use it as a defensive tool in order to get the opponent out of like away from you.
Yeah, I think that's definitely the plan that most Gotenks should go for, just because he can just ghost Oki you to death. And it's not a real set play or vortex because he can't ghost Oki back into ghost Oki because it takes away his smash when you get hit by the ghost. But it's almost the same. It's almost as close as you're gonna get in regards to a vortex or a set play in this game. But it's smart that they didn't let you do that, because if you still got the hard knockdown after getting hit by ghost, he would literally be a one-man army.
For sure, yeah.
Oof, he is relentless with the pressure. Oh my gosh!
And that KidB is going back to the orphanage.
And now it's can we say father versus son?
Well, father versus kind of a son, I guess.
Yeah, a son and another kid that he's, I don't know, his son's friend, I guess. I don't know if Vegeta would allow Goku to be Trunks' uncle or anything.
I highly doubt it.
Yeah, I highly doubt it as well. But Gotenks does not care, and I think he's going to level 3. No, he's not. He's going to Ghost Oki.
Yeah, I think going for level 1 at that point makes the most sense. You want to maintain the pressure, and the level wouldn't really have benefited him much. Unfortunately, the Ghost Oki that he went for was not clean. It was again really close by. He should try to go for a spacing where he's a little bit further away, so that you basically force Jake to go for any kind of movement option or to go for a vanish, essentially going for a commitment.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, the Ghost Oki isn't that clean, and he's had Gotenks on all of his teams. That maybe because he plays Gotenks as an anchor, he's not kind of established the Ghost Oki into his repertoire. I know there's different ways to do it. Like there's the backdash version, which sometimes isn't real. Yeah, I know sometimes it's not real because sometimes you can wake up vanish and you hit them out of the recovery of the backdash and they can't do HU. The other version's quite hard, where you do like, I think it's like a jump install sort of into M heavy, and then you throw it backwards. Yeah, that one you do the practice.
Yeah, the way that works is you do 2M, 5M. You do a super jump forward, jump M late, and then you do a late forward air Kai Blast, and then you follow up with L2H. And that way, when you then knock down in the air, you can fall back because of the super jump.
Right. So it gives you like the float property that you can get.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I feel like he's the only character that has a sequence that needs that. I'm not too sure, but I've not heard of any other character needing to do that.
I mean, there are some characters that can get creative with those jump installs. For example, I guess base Goku can kind of use it in order to go for a better shoulder tackle Oki, but it's not really worth it most of the time. So Gotenks is unique in a way that he can benefit a lot from it with his ghosts. Right.
Okay. And speaking about leveling up, we've got Gohan at level 2. I think this is overkill, but I appreciate it. As long as you catch the body, that's cool. And yeah,
so interesting. What's interesting is Squad is always using Gohan assist round start. I wonder if he does that because he doesn't feel he benefits a lot from Gohan assist otherwise, except for the round start situation.
Maybe, and especially against Vegeta, you want to kind of cover the arrow kick option, which most Vegetas go for. That was nice.
That's true, yeah. Nice cross off, yeah.
Oh, we haven't seen these for a while. That level 3, that is. All machine gun punches into fadeaway.
Oh, he gets a hit.
Yeah, it overextends a little bit too much. Nice confirm of the Vegeta assist.
I love this conversion. Oh, he goes for the... Okay. Gets
Yeah.
free.
I do believe, all the Goku players in the chat can correct me, I believe the Walk Kamehameha does more damage.
Okay.
I believe. I'm not whole sure, but even that, I believe he couldn't DHC into Vegeta without doing the Walk Kamehameha.
So Goku usually upwards Kamehameha does more damage.
Yes.
But at that point he also could have done a double level 1 into the Vegeta level 3, but it wouldn't have killed. So I guess this was the most optimal he could have gone for.
Yeah, because Gallic Gun's got really bad scaling. Gallic Gun Super does really bad scaling. It doesn't do well when you do it like after a super or at the end of a combo.
Yeah, I think the best use for Gallic Gun is as a DHC for other characters, because it forces the opponent to go downwards. So it generates a pretty good situation for the incoming character. But otherwise it's very difficult to synergize it well with other characters.
Totally. And another really good thing that not many assists do have is the tracking. So basically, whenever you do a super into Gallic Gun, the Gallic Gun will never miss because it always goes to where it needs to go, sort of like TN. So even if like Fat Boo, you can DHC into Vegeta's Gallic Gun, and it will just go as high as it needs to get the confirm.
Exactly. Yeah.
But as we say that, Squad closing the gap, making it 8-5. Like the matches have been pretty close. There's not been any like washes. Like no one's kind of. I don't believe there's been like a free character win yet. I don't think anyone's had all three of the characters. I think it's always been 2 or 1.
I think maybe it was in the first or in the second match, but like you could definitely see that the more matches go by, the closer it gets. So it's and it's becoming more and more consistent also for both players. So a lot of them are landing their combos more properly. They end the BNBs and they continue their pressure. So it's you can see that with each match it gets a little bit more tense, but also more clean in a way.
Ooh. Jake picking his wrong moment to dash forward there.
Ah, he messed up the instant air dash. That's unfortunate.
Tricky stuff. And this is going to get him 3 bars. Is he going to be able to level 1 to victory? Oh no, he missed the legs.
Drops it.
Now he's going to be fishing. There we go. I was about to say he's going to go in super hard to try and get the Dragon Rush, but he misses. Yeah, he definitely wants to snap in Vegeta, but I think he's going to lose his opportunity.
Yeah, instead of like going for the Dragon Rush raw, he should try to get the hit and then vanish. I mean, he has more than enough meter to vanish afterwards. So that way, by going for a normal hit, he can force the neutral play a little bit more than like trying to go for a raw Dragon Rush. And that's a lot of damage now for Jakewise onto SquadK. So forcing SquadK to swap out the character himself. Trying to waste the sparking with the level 3.
Oh, and then Jake uses his spark. Backs away. Super dash. Yeah, over the 2M. That is probably one of the bad habits that Jakewise has. I mean, it's not that bad because he was working a lot of the other matches, but always trying to get 2M starters with Boo, it's risky. It's risky.
Yeah, it's a high commit for sure.
A lot of reward, but yeah, like you said, a very high commitment. And something as simple as jumping and then super dash and beats it.
Nice. And that's the great thing about this Oki too. So normally, because of the instant air dash, a lot of characters would miss a lot of damage from such a hit, because you don't get the double jump afterwards after getting the 2H, but because base Vegeta has the loop that doesn't require him to jump at all, he gets a lot of damage even with an instant air dash Oki. That's really, really great.
Yeah, it is. It's very unique like that. No, I'm not saying that no one else can do it, but he benefits from it a lot.
Yeah. And now SquadK is finally putting use to Cell. That's nice.
Yeah, it's taken a few matches. I guess this is one of the drawbacks of playing multiple characters. You've got to kind of find your footing. But saying that, I think that's one of the main reasons he's got a lot of his games is just because he can show that, okay, I can play this character, but what do you do when I play a completely different character? You have to change what you're doing, but I'm familiar with this.
Yeah. Oh, that's a nice tag in. Doesn't get the proper pickup, unfortunately, and loses the corner because of it.
Yeah. Oh, he brings in Boo. Wow, what a bait on the level 3. He's been... I think he's got all the baits on level 3 so far in incoming. He's got really good reads on when Jakewise is kind of cracked when he just had enough.
Yeah, for sure.
Wow.
But good awareness of Jakewise. He knew that he was dashing too far, so that Gotenks actually didn't reach him, so he didn't try to go for a 2H. Trying to go for a 2H at that point would have meant he was able to be punished. So good awareness there.
Good block on the low. Oh, gets hit by the 5H though. This is going to be a bit of damage, but I don't think it's going to kill.
No, he could have killed, I think, by going for the M Tatsu, which builds enough meter.
Oh, it's a double super.
Yeah.
Okay, no loops, going straight into Solar Kamehameha.
Yeah, I like this. I like this. Stay consistent.
Oh, wake up double reflect, didn't punish the second one that whiffed. Wow, what a good 2H. He knew. He knew. Oh,
and
is he gonna?
I think he's still. No, he's dead. He's dead.
Wow, that was a lot of damage for him. That was, and I guess it was a 2H starter. Maybe that's why.
Yeah. I mean, 2H is one of the best starters you can get right next to 2M.
Mm-hmm. It's normally that because you have to vanish to get a lot of follow-up. I'm thinking, oh well, the vanish is gonna scale it too much, but not so. He's perfect.
Yeah.
He's too perfect.
He has the perfect scaling, yeah.
So, 8-6. It's definitely anyone's game. Even though I don't believe at any point in this has SquadK been up in the set, he's definitely closed the gap. It was definitely bigger earlier on with, I think it was like a 4-game deficit at one point. Now he's brought it in within 2.
Yeah, it's definitely a big improvement in comparison to before, where he only won 1 game and then lost 3, and now I think this is like his second win in a row. So it's a big improvement to before, and I think especially in long sets like these, becoming more and more consistent like that puts also a big pressure on your opponent, because now Jake probably has to keep in his mind that, oh, he already won 2 in a row. Now I have to kind of be a little bit more careful.
Yeah. Yeah, I can definitely see that. Oh, Celis is getting the lockdown he wanted. And there we go.
Oh, nice hit, nice hit.
Right, he's not going to have any assists for this. But it is Gohan.
Gets hit by the normal overhead.
I think oh no, he's not dead. He's not dead. But he's got assists this time. There we go. Yeah, having assist when you have a knockdown makes such a big difference.
Yeah, for sure. So now I wanted to say that he gave up the corner, but he basically re-cornered him, so there's no problem there anymore. And base Goku is done.
Relentless pressure. Him and Naheem. What happens when people kind of like hit a switch when they play adult Gohan and go like, I can never hold back. Like I must be pressing buttons at all moments.
Yeah, I think part of it is the legacy of vanilla Gohan, right?
Right.
Because it basically never allowed you to do anything but reflect at any point. But even after he got nerfed in that regard, he still, like, his strings are so long and he has so much flexibility in how he extends his pressure that it's very difficult for you as a player to be like, okay, now I can jump out of this string.
Yeah, he's definitely been picking these moments really well.
Yeah. Oh, almost got hit. The instant air dash jump LL thing, you can actually option select this. I don't know if the player know this. I suppose they do because they actually landed it quite consistently. But there's an OS that you can do with this. It's you do jump LL M2H. So basically what that does is you first you hit you bring out the L, and if the opponent blocks, you get another L. And then you get the M after the second L. But if the opponent doesn't block, you get LM auto-corrected into 2H.
Yes.
Yeah, so that way there is that basically improves the instant air dash pressure by a lot. Just because you always you don't get surprised by the sudden hit, because normally you don't expect to get the hit there, but that way you are always covered.
Yeah, that's a good way to maintain pressure without having to utilize too much of your brain power to mentally see the confirm.
Exactly, yeah.
Jakewise here, using his spark. Oh no, sorry, it's SquadK that's used his spark.
Yeah.
Level 2 as well, he's going to get quite good damage from this.
Yeah, but Jakewise will still be alive and he will be able to use the spark if he wishes to do so.
Oh,
but he gets opened up.
Double overheads. There we go, we finally see the loops, I like it.
Oh, is that too late? No, okay.
He's perfect. It's never too late. Cell doesn't make mistakes.
That's the perfect DHC.
Yeah. And like I said before, you can't really test Jakewise when he's running. Like, he's got his finger ready to 2H if you try to super dash chase him. You've got to let him go full screen, especially if you've got two characters against his one. Just let him run about. Don't force the issue too much because he's going to give you the people's elbow. Oh, but this is Gotenks. He's got the same thing. Oh, is this? He's got. Can he double super? Oh, he's not going to get 3 bars anyway.
Yeah,
oh no, he can perfect attack. He can perfect attack after this, right?
Oh, true. Yeah.
There you go.
Oh,
not even perfect attack. Super dash. Way too much damage. I don't know how I feel about that one. That felt like it was the beginning of a new combo after the super dash.
So 8-7. This is getting really, really close.
Yeah, he's definitely dragging this out, isn't he, SquadK? But I like it. I like close games. I like close games. I don't want to see people get mocked. I like how he's holding his own with multiple teams. This is very rare to see. Very, very rare to see.
For sure. I mean, of course, a lot of people say, like, the characters in Dragon Ball, they're more simple. But, I mean, knowing, like, the synergies and knowing how to play characters in specific teams is really difficult in this game. You can't just say, well, I play Gohan, Cell, and Gotenks, and sometimes instead of Cell, I play, I don't know, Majin Buu, and be like, well, now I just play the same. You have to incorporate the characters like very differently.
Yeah, I do like it, and even with like between Vegeta, Cell, Adult Gohan, they're not super complex characters, but you do have to play them differently. They've got different strategies, they've got different strengths. So nice confirm. Oh my gosh, Gohan's legs. He does leg day every day.
Gets a hit again. SquadK doing the damage right now. Gets the level up. Sparking from Jakewise. I think that was a good spark. He wants to make sure that base Vegeta doesn't get lost, but he also wants to make sure that SquadK doesn't maintain the pressure at all. So now he gets the damage with the loops, gets the Oki. Oh, the God Cancel actually worked out.
Yeah, it did. Fortunate. Oh, but he's not finishing the loops, but he's just getting more hits. Maybe he's doing this on purpose.
Yeah, unfortunately he didn't get the right hit, the right starter in order to get the loops going. So now it's a very scrambly kind of neutral, both players trying to get a hit in and try to comment it with a vanish. Now Squad is actually in the pressure, allowing Jakewise to get out of the corner. It's a very hectical kind of neutral or in general play right now. It's a lot different than from the matches before. Much more faster paced too.
Yeah, maybe it's because of the score. It being 7-8, like, it's a little bit, uh-oh, I've got to put away and win now. I think a lot of people play this game like that. It's like, this game is can be so unpredictable at some points. They want to win as quick as possible.
Yeah.
And a lot of times that is really how people win. It's just like, I'm just gonna throw the smokes and mirrors in your face. Don't worry if this isn't real, if there's a gap here. I'm just gonna do it so quick you don't have time to react to it. And like you said, yeah, the games at the beginning, maybe because they knew they had games to give, it was okay and people were taking their time, figuring each other out. Now it's within 3 games. 3 games for SquadK and 2 for Jake. It's more like, well, I don't want this guy to adapt again. Let me try and kill him as quick as possible.
Yeah, which is kind of funny if you think about it, because in comparison to other games, usually in other games it's the other way around. It's in the first matches you are much more prone to trying out things that are very risky, and in the later matches you tend to be a little bit less wild and be a little bit more calm with your decisions. But in this game, it's exactly as you said. It's the other way around. You try to be more oppressive in the later games because you don't have that many chances.
Yeah, it's weird. That's why I kind of like the long format. I know this game can be pretty long sometimes, but I like the longer format because it's nice to see this game played when people are, I don't want to say people don't think, but when people are kind of like, okay, I know he likes to do this, let me formulate like a plan to stop him from doing this. And when it's first to 2 in this game, you don't have time for that. It's too risky to do that. Where in other games, like you said, in Guilty Gear, you used to block for like 20 minutes before you even thought about fighting your opponent, because you wanted to know, okay, what's his block strings? When can I insta-block? Should I waste my thoughtless defense here? All that sort of stuff. So yeah, it's really interesting for me to see longer sets and people kind of figuring it out, because not much in this game is unreactable or, you know, really oppressive, maybe bar, you know, Piccolo Hellzone. But yeah, everything else you can do something about. You just need to know that it's a possibility in your opponent's head.
Exactly, yeah. Meanwhile, while speaking of not being impossible to block, Jakewise is doing a really good job of blocking almost everything that SquadK throws at him.
Yeah, he was.
With the exception of the last hit.
The one that matters. The last hit is the one that matters. I feel like he should have had his finger ready on the 2H. A lot of people like to do, you know, 6H, empty vanish, IAD, box dashes like that. And just get your 2H ready. He can't really reset. Well, no character can really reset pressure without jumping. Is that a punish? It's not a punish. Oh dear. Can really reset pressure without the IAD stuff, and it's just like, just get ready to 2H it.
Exactly, yeah.
Wow.
He just pressed the stove button.
You know what? A really small point I want to make is, I love it when Jakewise interrupts because it's always 5L. He always does the fastest button possible. A lot of people in the scramble will go 2L, and that's normally slower than your 5L.
Yeah. The reason a lot of people try to go for 2L is because it's usually it has more range than the 5L. But in this case, or especially in this game, there are so many moves that have forward momentum that having the range doesn't necessarily matter as much as the frame data, for sure.
Yeah.
So going for a 5L usually is a little bit is usually safer because you interrupt a lot of incoming attacks as they come towards you.
Instead of trying to outpoke them with a 2L, which is slightly slower. It's more like you want to interrupt this button. You don't want to counter poke it. You want to stop it. So you should go for the quickest button.
Exactly. Yeah.
But yeah, Jakewise, he's 1 away now. Squad is he's 3 games and now he's character locked. So he's gonna have to stick it out with this team because he can't lose anymore.
That's unfortunate. I really wanted to see a blue Vegeta, blue Goku, Gotenks team at some point, but you can't get everything.
No, I mean we did get both the characters, yeah, just not at the same time. And yeah, I want to message him, say like, look, dude, you should think about maining that team because your Bluku was really good, and clearly your Vegeta can do damage. So maybe put them together. And he might tell me why he put Cell. Maybe he feels Cell's the glue of that team, the same way a lot of people play Goku or Vegeta.
Yeah.
Wow, he committed to the 2M. Yeah, he got hit for doing the 2M by the legs and he went, you know what, I'm going to do it again. And it's paying off, look at this.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. Did the 2M also make Cell's assist with, or did he just interrupt early enough?
I think he interrupted early enough. Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Because that seemed like the perfect angle for Cell to hit.
Exactly, yeah.
Oh, the auto combo from Goku. I've never known Goku auto combo to work like that. Well, not Goku SSJ anyway. Goku Black, maybe. Well, not SSJ.
Yeah, that's not something that's that SSJGoku is known for.
No, not at all. Wow, very clean 2H. Landed just in time there to stop that super dash. Showing his daddy's true power. Wow, he just he just dashes out of the corner. Jakewise, his mobility is really clean.
Yeah, but I think it was also a very good observation from Jakewise's part. Squad was a little bit far away with the adult Gohan, which is usually a good thing to do when you do the level 1 power-up thing. But it also forces adult Gohan to, if he wants to pressure you, to instant air dash. And if you instant air dash, and you can most of the time dash under it. So that was a really good observation from Jakewise.
Yeah, he's seen it enough times, I think, and he's coming up with a plan. Unfortunately, he did still lose his character after that match neutral, and KidB's not looking too good right now. He's back to the corner, super dashes, forces his way through Mystic Ball. Not a bad option.
Yeah, the super dash was pretty good, forced himself out of the corner, and did it while Squad was in the air, so it was a relatively...
Galaxy Breaker. What's the mix-up going to be? Same side low? Yeah, I played Jake way too much, as you can see. Ooh, is it? Wow, okay. He's definitely adapting. Too early with the 2H though, that's unfortunate. Jumps up, has to block the airstream, gets put back on the ground. Yeah, he's definitely guessing now. He's definitely guessing.
Yeah, he tried to counter poke with the jump M, but didn't work out.
Rolling crush, thrice. Wow, I don't know what.
Up.
Was that cross up? I'm glad someone could tell because I couldn't. That looked like it's hit in the middle, like it hit both sides at the same time.
I think it was a cross up, but I mean with this game you can never tell.
Nah, especially with super dashes.
Yeah, super dashes are wild. And does he go for the level 3? No, I think he can kill like that.
Yeah, gun.
Nice. So now this is actually looking kind of even right now. Both have the same amount of meter. Jakewise does need to regain a little bit of health for KidB, but Squad doesn't. It's getting damaged right now, so actually looking okay for Jakewise. He could take this with this match.
Yeah, he could. Oh!
Oh, he drops the combo. That's unfortunate.
Level 3. Okay. Yeah, no, he's got the blue health. I was thinking maybe use the spark to get the blue health, but I guess if you can avoid using the spark.
I think this was a pretty good decision. I mean, it forced Jakewise to go for the sparking, and at the same time, Gotenks level 3 mix-up is pretty okay. So, I mean, it got nerfed, but it's still good enough in order to basically force Jakewise to act, or to react in a way.
Absolutely, and he gets the character as well. It's close. Oh my gosh, crucial tech there. DP?
Yeah.
No, you gotta stop trying to 2H that.
Oh, that was unfortunate with the sparking.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
Nice.
One character each.
Squad can still take this. Jakewise is being really patient right now. He didn't press anything. And now he goes for a 2H.
Is that going to do enough damage in time?
I don't think it won't.
Oh, no! Oh, he hasn't got level 3. Oh my god, he ran forward! How on earth did that whiff? Oh my gosh.
Oh, damn. That was sick.
That was sick. Oh my god. That was such a clutch super dash. I think he was waiting for that. I think he was waiting for the beam. That was a really good jump. Really good jump.
Yeah, but man, GG's. Those were some sick matches.
Yeah, yeah, that was what way to start the year. Jeez.